Yes, I am a comedian as well. The whole point of philosophy is like learning how everybody thinks. I think it's interesting that philosophy is kind of associated. When I just feel called to do something, I'm gonna go do it. I think the food is a little overhyped. I just learn a lot of stuff, and sometimes I attach myself to certain concepts that I like and don't like. But I mean, uh, definitely for me to be a Pan-Africanist means to like just celebrate the oneness of humanity and to really see each person as equal. Bob
Yes.
Marley is also another one of my favorite Pan-Africanists,
Oh,
and
okay.
in his song War, he says, until the philosophy of one man
Hmm.
is not held as superior against another, there will
Okay.
always be war.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
he got that from Selassie. And
Hailey Selassie. Yeah, that's
yes.
great.
So those are just a few of my favorites. And also Bell Hooks. I would say she's
Okay.
a Pan-Africanist. She's an author that's very famous in America.
Mm.
And she is just all about like love and like how radical it is to just be loving, especially as like a Black person in America.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are some of my
Okay, so
favorites.
that's what inspired you. A lot of people, a lot of books, a lot of reading. That's nice. So it took you to Africa, Ghana, right? How was the feeling like? First time,
Yes,
and
that was my first time in Africa.
and you are from tracing your lineage. Where are you
We don't know.
from? But I was trying to be around West Africa, I guess.
Yes. My father is white and my mother is Black.
Okay.
And they're both like American, so
Okay.
they don't know where they're from. My dad thinks he knows where in Europe, but he doesn't really know.
Oh, okay.
My mom, she really has no idea, but my aunt took a DNA test, and I don't really think it's as accurate as people claim it is, but it said like a lot of West.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a little bit more Nigerian than Ghanaian. but also
Oh, I
Ghanaian.
see. That's nice.
Just all over the coast.
Great.
Yes.
So your arrival in Ghana, how was the feeling?
When I first was leaving, my friend was like, it's gonna be crazy because when you get to the airport, it's just gonna be less and less white people. And then finally, when you arrive, it'll be all Black people. And in America, it's like super segregated. So, you know, that's kind of like, I'm like, oh yeah, all Black people, it's gonna be beautiful. But to just see Black people everywhere, to not feel like it was separated, it was really beautiful. It's super different. Because I feel like in America, it's like, this is where all the Black people stay. And like, sometimes you'll see some other people, but it's like condoned to certain areas, which I'm sure like class kind of probably dictate that maybe more there, but it was just beautiful to just see so many beautiful people. And when I got there, it just I feel like everywhere where I travel, everything feels like super familiar. And
okay.
I really see like the earth as my home.
Wow.
I try to feel grounded wherever I go. And it was very easy to feel this way in Ghana.
Great.
Like, people were so kind, and I met so many just awesome people, flirtatious people, and also just loving and beautiful, kind people.
Yeah.
And just like the culture was just super different, just in the way that I've witnessed other people interact with each other, like, and then like the use of like technology, just being more present in the moment. It's just super different, super interesting.
So you visited a lot of places in Ghana?
I did. So I was with my aunt, and she had a business trip there.
Okay.
And she invited me. And it was basically a cultural excursion. And we started in Accra, kind of just got settled there, and On my last night in Accra, I went out dancing. So much fun. I love live music, you know, musicians, so I always just appreciate it wherever I go.
Yeah.
And
so you were in Accra, and which other place again?
And then after that, I went to Kumasi.
You went to Kumasi.
Yes.
The home of culture. Okay, and then
and that's where you're from, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Yes.
And then, you let the whole YouTubers know I'm from Kumasi.
When I'm supposed to tell them?
No, but that's fine. I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm from Kumasi, a proud Ghanaian. So yes. you went to Accra, you went to Kumasi, and where?
And then Cape Coast.
You went to Cape Coast.
Yes.
Oh, Elmina. Mm-hmm. Elmina. I know that most times. Elmina Castle, because there is a castle where you went to see the slave trade.
Yes.
How was the feeling like when you entered the building? The slave trade, colonization.
So when we first got to Cape Coast. Also, let me just explain the vision of this trip. So we started in Accra to get grounded, get settled, just get a taste of the life there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Kumasi, which was supposed to be like you said, the cultural center.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like what home would have been like had we never been taken to America. And that's when we did like a naming ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got to see like traditional dancing, drums, and then everybody bought a lot of kente cloth over there because it's like the main center for it. Yep. And so that was just super beautiful. I love to dance, and it was just so beautiful. I'm having so many flashbacks.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to Cape Coast, which is like where my ancestors were taken. And it was like the last place on their homeland. And the first place that we went to when we went to Cape Coast was called the Slave Bath. And this is a place where like my ancestors last cleansed themselves and bathed before being taken to America. And like I said, I was there with my aunt, and it was the most beautiful experience probably I've ever had. It was I definitely love my ancestors. I feel very connected to them, and it really felt like a return. And it also felt like so much peace to return to that spot that they were once in, and to be in full autonomy over what I did next with my body, like to go home, to stay with my aunt, to go get dinner, whatever we wanted, right?
Yeah.
And so, and then it's like, also just I can only imagine how my ancestors have dreamt of coming back home, and it's like finally, right? To have the power and the liberty to do so. So that was just a very magical moment, and we got to like bless ourselves with the water, and I did that with my aunt, like we said a prayer, and one of my other aunts recently passed away, and I could just like feel her spirit with us. So it was just a very beautiful moment to just feel very grounded to my family, and just to feel like incredibly grateful. And then the next day we went to the slave dungeons, and that just kind of made me mad. It's a really intense energy in there, like, and then it still smells. They show the floor and how it's like cemented blood, feces, urine, bodily fluids. It's literally cemented to the ground, and it's just there. And like it doesn't smell like feces per se, but it smells just like misery and pain. And so
it smells inhuman.
It's a very intense place.
All right, well, I hope you're not getting emotional already.
No.
All right, but you were at the gate of no return.
Yes.
You were there. So anyway,
have you been there?
Yeah, of course. I've been to Elmina Castle.
What was it like for you?
Well, my first time, it's most times you get to have that feeling when you have already read a lot about colonization, about slavery. Someone who has not done this kind of history and all that, do not really find it fancy, and but because I had knowledge on what slavery was, how they were treated, and what's really happening along that line. When you get there, it makes you more emotional, and it's more or less like you are there with them. I mean, but that's already happened, and you take the inspiration from it and you do better. Yeah. Anyway, it's a very beautiful afternoon, though it looks morning. We don't have to get emotional. So your experience of Ghana was the best. Aside Ghana, any other part of Africa you've been to?
I've also been to Ethiopia. This was a more recent trip.
Okay.
And also a very magical experience.
Yeah.
Oh wow. The birds are fighting us.
Yeah.
I got to go to Lalibela.
Okay.
And have you heard of Lalibela?
Yeah.
I did not know much about it before I went there.
I've not been there. Well, you have been there, so.
Yes. And so basically there's like 11 churches carved into mountains.
Yeah.
And so the outside is like built from up down, and then the inside they go in, and then they go from bottom up. And it was just like the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And it's like a pilgrimage site for Ethiopian Orthodox Christians.
Okay.
Your friends are coming. And yeah, it was so beautiful, and I love God so much. And even though I don't subscribe to like this particular religion,
okay,
it was so inspiring to see just to be around so many people that love God and are willing to put their intention, their energy, and their efforts into that.
Great.
Yeah.
I just want to know, would you like to live in Africa one day? Like, do you have any plans to move from US to Africa?
Yes. I've thought about it a lot. I don't know, honestly. I feel like I left America just for this abroad trip because I was tired of a lot of the problems that I was seeing. And lately I've kind of been feeling called to be accountable and like go fix the things that I see and not just like abandon this place that has like become my home. But I would love to honestly live everywhere.
You like to do a lot of traveling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see myself living there. I don't know if I would live in Ghana in particular.
No, but if you want to be in Africa, you should be in Ghana.
Why? Why do you say that?
Why you know that?
Biased?
It's a nice place. No, but almost Africa. You see, one thing about Africa is nobody. Once you see a black, it doesn't really. We don't know anything like color. On the continent of Africa, nobody cares about color.
Some kids when I was at the slave dungeon, they called me white.
Really?
Yes. And then I was like, I went on a date with someone, and I was like, they called me white, and they're like, it kind of means foreigner.
Yeah. No, but most times, depending on your accent, they may allocate you to one. But normally, people don't really care about color. And aside that, Ghana's culture is rich. Aside that, Ghana got the best food. Aside that, Ghana got the best music. Maybe Nigeria may want to compete, but maybe South Africa. But that's just by the way. Anywhere you want to live in Africa is cool. Yeah. I hope you live in Africa one day.
Are you returning to Ghana after school?
Most likely, yeah. Due to my YouTube work, I may be doing a lot of traveling, but my base will be in Ghana. Okay. Surely I love Ghana, the food. Anyway, so coming to the end of our discussion this morning, what will you say to the world? I mean, as your last words, as your message, with all that you've discussed in philosophy, in history, in humanity, what will be your last words to the world? Yeah.
So James Allen said, men are unsatisfied with their conditions, but they're satisfied with themselves.
Great. That's your last message to the world.
Yes, in peace.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
You.
It was nice meeting you. We discussed a lot. I hope that your message reaches the world. And by the way, she's a YouTuber too.
Yes.
Can you tell me your channel? Like maybe people may want to follow you.
My
or
channel
subscribe.
is Yara Divine, and hopefully we'll also do a video together. So you guys can watch that as well.
Yeah. So the people who want to see me, you may check her channel. You'll see me there. I hope.
Yes.
Great. Have a nice day. Bye.